What is up, you guys? Welcome to session number 110. We are going to be going over the past 2 weeks here, guys, since we missed last week. We missed last week because I was sick. I was dying last Monday. So we did not do a session last Monday, but we're going to be going over how Mogul Fellows did the past 2 weeks here. And let's actually dive into not the past week, but the previous week, right before we got sick here. So let's dive in. Let's find it here. So let's make sure this is it here. All right. So, last week we had our headlines, and 2 weeks ago we had our headlines. We had obviously had the government shutdown ended, longest in history, and then we had the jitters around Wall Street over valuation concerns, and that's still the case to today. We also had lack of data for Fed to cut, labor concerns. So that was 2 weeks ago, leading up to last week for last week's session. Last week's session, we were supposed to record a 64.67 total value. Mogul 30 was 26. Mogul options was 19K. Stock pot 15. Mogul crypto pot was 1,916. Mogul spending was 1366. So just to quickly, go over, how it went 2 weeks ago. Capital freed in the Mogul 30 was 1,100. Capital deployed was 2,800, and weekly profit for the Mogul 30 2 weeks ago was $48.89, $40.89, 3.72%. We also had Nvidia covered call, which made $209.96. Those shares, that contract was not assigned. That contract was expired, worthless. So that weekly profit of 2 weeks ago was 250, and let me actually see what date that was. So it was, if we were to look at this, we have Thanksgiving coming up. We are the 24th right now, so that would be the end of this week right here, so the 14th, guys. So $250.85 for this week right here. So now to go over the past week, we had a wild week, guys. Obviously the market, we saw turmoil last week, and we saw the fear and greed index really go down to, I think it's the lowest I have seen it, but it went down to the CNN fear and greed index went down to a 6, guys. I think it slightly went down to a 5, but it went down to a 6, lowest I've seen it. Obviously, we saw those levels around Liberation Day as well. So we went over this week. Now we're going to be going over the 17th through the 21st, guys. So let's go over some weekly headlines. We saw the worst week in market since April lows. Nvidia had record-breaking quarter, beating EPS and revenue as they announced earnings. We had the wild crypto sell-off, guys. And we had Berkshire Hathaway also announcing their Google stake as they bought a Google stake here. We don't know for sure if that's Warren Buffett or not. And fear greed index, we just said this, lowest since April, and we had the VIX really spiking. And then the Federal Reserve fear that they won't cut rates, has everyone feeling, having everyone fleeing to cash. That was the case really last week. Obviously, we have some bull signs today with the Federal Reserve and poly market really, switching. It went from, I think it was around 80% cut, and it swapped down to 20, and then it swapped back up, guys. So we saw this really crazy. We posted it on our Instagram, on our Instagram reel if you want to go check it out over there. Poly market post, but we are now expecting to cut in December. So those were the main headlines that we noted last week, from last week. Now for the recorded weekly overview for this past weekend. Last night we had a total value of $61,737.47, guys. That is the Mogul 30 value as of last night. And Mogul 30, we are 25 in the 25.8 total, market 13.9 in, and cash 11.8 on the sidelines, guys. And we announced, that we are lowering our daily buys from $100 a day to 25, and then we base off how many we do. We could do 1 to 10 buys a day based off the daily buy, and we went from really deploying cash into really preserving now, and that's due to uncertainty in the market and trying to protect those cash reserves, guys, as much as possible. So we switched from $100 going in our daily buy to down to 25 until we see signs of recovery and replenishment on our cash reserves, guys. So that is for the Mogul 30. Mogul options, we saw 18,301. Market 18,042. Those are 100 Nvidia shares, and then we have the 259.90. That was premium, I believe, from last week. We'll go over what we did for the cover call we did last week. So and then we also have Mogul stock pots, long-term portfolio, stock portfolio at 14,435.90. We saw that really get hit last week due to the sell-off. Mogul CryptoPot also got hit hard. We see it at 1,74461 this past week, logged this weekend. And then Mogul spending remains around $1,300, guys. So now for the trading portfolios, Mogul 30 and Mogul options. So details on those: capital freed was $1,400 this week. And we made $59.86 on that $1,400, and that is a weekly ROI of 4.27 on that. Those I believe it was 2 days we sold, and I think, let's see what it was. So we sold our Johnson & Johnson on Wednesday last week, $21 profit there. That was mainly to free up cash to replenish our cash reserves. And then we also, Thursday, we sold our Walmart really pumping after they did announce earnings that day, and it did start pumping. We did sell out of that for a $38.82 profit. So those were the two sells for the $59.86, guys. And then we deployed $2,200 last week. We obviously, as I mentioned, we did bring that $100 daily buy, and we could buy up to 1 to 10 stocks a day. The daily buy is now 25 instead of 100. So instead of multiple $100 buys, we're doing multiple $25 buys now. So now Mogul options, we did open up a Nvidia cover call last Monday for this last Friday expiration, November 21st, 2025. We did a $200 strike, putting our 100 shares up for collateral. We received $249.96 for that contract for premium, guys, and it did not get assigned, so we still have our shares. So total profit for the two trading portfolios is $309.82, and though that will be dispersed accordingly into our long-term stock and crypto portfolios, and it is also going to activities and giving back, guys. Club activities and giving back. We did want to announce we are in a stock competition. Wrote down, I believe there's 8 total people. Well, not people, but I should say 8 positions. We have some people in it. We asked, AI is also involved. We have our first stock competition. You have to be a VIP member to be able to do this stock competition. Everyone picks one stock and we have done it, I believe, until November 30th. We're going to announce the winner, guys. The winner gets a $50 cash prize. So get into the Discord to learn more about that. We are starting to do stock competitions, guys. So that is pretty much the last 2 weeks in a nutshell, guys, how we did. Actually, I kind of want to see the total profit of the 2 weeks, guys. So let's see what was profit. So we did, I don't know if we mentioned this earlier, but we did a profit of $250 the first week, guys, plus 309.82. So 560.67 we made in the past 2 weeks on our 2 trading portfolios that will be dispersed into the long-term accounts and other activities and giving back, guys. So that is the past 2 weeks in a nutshell. So now let's go over, some charting, guys. We see SPX. We see this guy really recovering here, bouncing. It broke that 200-day there, and now we are seeing this rip above this 200-day here today. So, have we bottomed? I wouldn't say so, but you never know, guys. You never know. This could be a bull trap. Are we bullish? We're half bullish, half bearish, guys. So we don't know what's going to happen. The best thing we could do is be prepared either way. And our strategies, especially the Mogul 30 strategy, plays offense and defense accordingly to bear market and bull market, guys. So, if it goes down, we buy more. And if it, goes up, we trim out accordingly and we make money, guys. And then obviously, we all have to, with the Mogul options, we have to, base it accordingly off, NVIDIA and, do covered calls, good delta ranges and stuff like that, guys. So let's go over some charting still here. So we see, the S&P/X really at 67.05, really recovering from this low. Looks like at 6,500 range here. Will we reach this high again of 6,920 by year end? Well, there's a lot of things that have to happen, guys. Obviously everyone's looking at the Federal Reserve. Hopefully they could cut rates here in December. I think they're going to be forced to, after seeing this labor data really negative. We're flying off of September data. Obviously it was doing well in September, but no one knows what it's at right now. We see a bunch of these companies laying off people, and if they cut rates, a lot of these companies can afford to borrow money to pay employees and such. So obviously we don't, these companies don't want to give up their AI dreams and everything to be able to pay their employees, so they got to cut expenses, and to cut expenses they got to let go people. And so yeah, guys, so I think that is a major concern. And obviously the Federal Reserve is really trying to control inflation. People are saying that if they cut rates, then that means inflation can go up again and away from their 2% goal. So a lot of stuff to happen in the next couple weeks until they cut, or until the Fed meeting, they hopefully cut. It'll be good signs for the market, and I think the market is kind of pricing in it, because so far you saw poly market go back up in optimism that they're going to cut. So guys, today really, BM&R really killing it here. We see them really struggling the past few weeks here, and then we see a bounce here. IonQ, quantum computing, we see them up 14% here, really bouncing. We see Mara, crypto play here, really bouncing. Seeing all these stocks really bouncing, all these risky stocks really bouncing on the day, guys. So Robinhood, we see bouncing up to that 50-day there. Google, everything is leaning toward Google today. Big Mag 7 stock killing it today. Look at that. 318.80 at a high there, guys. Or sorry, yeah, I think after hours is 321, but yeah, 318.80 it reached today on the high there, and Google really smashing it there. And they're Gemini 3.0, everyone is saying is really good, and everyone there's some people leaving ChatGPT, OpenAI for Google's Gemini 3.0. So we see Tesla really rebounding here. We see it back up at the 418 level there. We see Coinbase really recovering there. We see it bouncing back to 256 level. AMD 216. Palantir really recovering as well, up 5% there, recovering. So is this a bottom, guys? We could really well see it as a bottom, but it could very well be a bull trap as well, guys. So you don't know what's gonna happen to this market, but right now we are hopefully going to be ripping into the rest of Q4. Look at all the rest of these names here. We see Oklo really up 3%. See Amazon up 2.65%. So we see all these stocks in the green for the day, guys, and hopefully we could see this turkey rally really continue into Thanksgiving. So guys, yeah, just looking at all the stocks we're in, rebound on the day is really nice for the Mogul 30. We do see Oracle still struggling here. Obviously it could be because of that extra debt that they took on, but people really speculative and trying to getting into this name right now, but hopefully we could see Oracle figure it out there. Microsoft, same thing. Spotify, we see struggling as well. Still, Visa, we see a little bounce off the 318 level there, back up to the 50-day. Airbnb, we see bouncing as well off the 110 up to 114. And guys, here are the stocks that are struggling today regardless of what's going on. We see oil really coming down, CVX, Chevron. We see what other name we're in, DoorDash. We see at a 182 it reached low, trading at a 188. Nike, we have trading at 62 level there. Home Depot, we have trading at the 337 level there. Lockheed Martin is trading, look at that, 24 RSI, guys, that's wild. Obviously if you are bullish on Lockheed Martin, bullish on our military, then this could be a play. And then Procter and Gamble, obviously a big safety stock for us. We see a really big red candle here coming down to a 39 RSI level there, so 146 level. So those are all the stocks. Obviously the check marks are the ones that we're in right now in the Mogul 30. So that is pretty much what's going on with our positions there. So now let's go over, and if you want to see Mogul options trading, you want to see the Mogul long-term stock pot, you want to see the crypto long-term pot, and then the rest of what we do, jump over to Discord, guys. We post this. I mean, you could get in for free and then get this every week. It's pretty much like a newsletter that we post weekly. But if you want all the other stuff, guys, you do have to be a VIP member. Go over to mogulfellows.com to be able to get the VIP channels here, guys. So get into the Discord, guys. Get into the Discord if you want to follow what I do. I have Mogul Fellows here. So let's go over now the news on the day. We'll read this to you and then wrap up this session, guys. So S&P 500 rips to 1.6 higher. NASDAQ posts best day since May as Alphabet reignites AI trade, guys. So we saw Google really rip, as we saw on the charting. Stocks closed higher on Monday, boosted by Alphabet as market rebounded into the Thanksgiving holiday. week after a slide that knocked the air out of this year's artificial intelligence bull run. The S&P 500 increased 1.5. We have NASDAQ jumping 2.6 there. And then we have the Dow jumping 0.44% there, guys. So here's more on Alphabet. Shares of Alphabet saw gains Monday as investors grew optimistic about the company's standing in AI race. Google last week announced its upgraded AI model, Gemini 3, a move that comes nearly 8 months after its unveiling of Gemini 2.5. Google Alphabet was up 6.3% today, guys, leading the market there. The optimism surrounding Alphabet extended to other names into the AI trade. Broadcom 11.1% up today. We have Micron up 8%. Palantir and AMD popping 4.8 and 5.5. And then we also have Meta, Nvidia, and Amazon also recovering as well, guys. All right, so we're back up on the music. It's great for Alphabet and investors in Alphabet, but it always concerns me when we have one stock that is leading the market higher. We're not looking necessarily at a broad-based improvement. That was said by Melissa Brown, Managing Director of Investment Decision Research at SimCorp. What else do we got here, guys? Stocks built on a strong rebound that started on last Friday, when the head of the New York Federal Reserve left the door open to a December interest rate cut, guys. Major averages have still stumbled sharply since the month began, pressured by a reconsideration of sky-high valuations across AI-linked names that had powered much of 2025's market gains. What else is juicy here, guys? The S&P 500 slipped roughly 2% last week, which was very painful, and its November decline now stands at around 2%. The NASDAQ, which shed nearly 3% in the prior week, is down more than 3% for the month. The 30-stock Dow fell about 2% last week, and it is off more than 2% month to date. The final stretch of November may be no easier, with trading volumes expected to thin out and in the coming days, and few meaningful catalysts ahead of the Fed's December policy meeting. Volatility could pick up. Brown noted that any upcoming economic data releases, including September U.S. retail sales and September PPI data on Tuesday, that signal a stagflationary environment, could be a driver, guys. So that is CNBC live updates, guys. So that's pretty much what we're seeing for this week, as we, hopefully see, this turkey rally really continue. But, there are some catalysts that could, that are kind of signs that we might see a downturn again. And, like we said before, we are 50-50. We want to be prepared if this is a bull trap and we continue to go back down. And we want to be prepared if it goes back up. So we are continuing our strategy as we buy every day, guys, and we trim out accordingly, and we have good cash in case it does go back down, and we manage those cash reserves accordingly. So we look back. Let's go look at SPY instead. And we see it at a 669 level there, guys, trading. We saw the bottom here around 649 here, so we see it at a 58 RSI level, guys. So I don't know, will we reach up to 70 and then come back down? I don't know, guys. We'll see. This is the 4-hour chart, the chart we trade. So that pretty much wraps up this session, guys. We are leading into Thanksgiving week. I hope you guys have a wonderful Thanksgiving with friends and family. And then, obviously Black Friday, we have modified, or Thanksgiving, we're closed the market. And then Black Friday, we have modified hours, California time. I think we close at 10 o'clock a.m. So it's 1 o'clock on Wall Street. So I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you want to jump into the Discord, guys, you guys got to go over to mogulfellas.com if you guys want, these weekly overviews of the portfolios and how Local Fellows is doing. If you guys want to know exactly what I buy and sell every single day, and you want to get other perks as well, buy alerts here. We have the Mogul Fellows options, right? Trading here. We have the long-term pot, and there's going to be more stuff on here as Mogul Fellows grows. We're going to be getting financial statements up here very soon, guys, as well. So you guys can take a look at how the health is of Mogul Fellows, and then if you guys want to do, if you guys want to talk in here as well, we have the chat. So, and then if you guys are in the VIP. If you guys get VIP access, you could get onto our Instagram chat as well. So, guys, I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. We are, brand new. We were founded, in 2020 during the COVID-19, but we did start this, public portfolio journey in 2022 during the interest rate crash, guys. So this is really fun to be able to put this all online now. And we started that here on YouTube, so it's good to start growing and to get me comfortable with talking on camera as well. So I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in, guys, and have a wonderful Thanksgiving week.